You know, growing up, you see this stuff on TV. And, I mean, I did. You know, that they have to, walk. An estimated about 2 to 2.5 hours minimum to get water. And I remember hearing it just all my life. I'd see the commercials on TV, hear it. And the first time I was here and made that ride, it just was thinking, wow, I couldn't imagine walking that every day. And you go back to the States and you try to communicate it. And it's one of those things that you can't really communicate. You gotta live it.
One of the ladies I talked to today used the word misery a couple of times about the misery that they live in because their life is so hard trying to find water. But she talked about the misery it causes having to go so far to get water and haul it back. And how when you spend so much time, kind of like us commuting, when you have to spend so much time on the road going to get that, it takes away from time at home to do other things. And so she conserves her time and her water by taking the kids when she can to bathe them at the source that she's walking to for an hour, 40 minutes to an hour. And then she takes a little bit of clothes with her and tries to do the wash there and then come back. All the things that she can do to conserve, so when she gets back with that bucket of water, and if she has little kids to take with her, their little gallon or whatever they're carrying, that they can use it for other things like cooking. Because she said there are times when she's had to come home and there just wasn't enough water left to cook with, so she'd have to go and borrow from somebody else. Yeah.
I thought today when they came up and you said there was no water, that the 100 people that have been watching us for 2 days would be gone. But they weren't. They all stayed. I mean, they're staying, and I thought about that, yet they still, we still try. We came and drilled, and we move on to the next place. If you had X amount of dollars to work with, how would you get the most bang? If I said, here's $5 million or $500,000 or whatever, how could you get the most bang for your buck?
I get better equipment, more suited to the island, and then I'd get a cat to get around with and hire somebody who knew how to build at least rudimentary roads to get where we want to get.
I mean, even with the equipment that we had, if we had roads to get there, it would be a completely different ballgame.
I mean, can you imagine if we left early in the morning and actually worked longer in the day because we didn't have to worry about a breakdown on the slippery rock road on the way home?
You leave the equipment where it's at and bring a truck home, and we're back here in 30 minutes.
I mean, we could put in, just in the summertime, hundreds of extra hours.
Yeah.
Oh, kidding.
Hundreds.
The island's only, 10 miles wide and 30 miles long or something?
Something like that. 12 by 35.
And we can't cover it in a day. I mean, we can't cover...
You can't drive around the island. I mean, you can't anyway, but
Yeah.
you can't.
Shovel-ready jobs. That's what we need.
No.
Up in the mountains, it continued raining for a couple of days. The guys were trapped, unable to travel back to the drill site.
Okay, that's crooked. Is that crooked enough? The champion lost on.
We're praying for no rain, and we're having people pray for no rain, and we got 500,000 Haitians believing God that it's going to rain. So I think we're outnumbered, and lo and behold, they've got rain, and we're stuck inside. Kind of frustrating.